So we've now covered off the two Club Locos. We do have a couple more Locos in the shed there, but they're all undergoing maintenance at the moment, so we're not able to use them at the moment. So we'll move on to one of the more common electrics on the track. This is my own personal Loco. It's a model of a New Zealand Railways DH class. They're a heavy shunt Loco up in Auckland. So once again, battery electric. This one has two 450 watt motors, one on each of the bogies, driving via chain. Under the body there, which we'll lift off in a moment, we've got two 105 amp hour batteries, and it's all running through a 4QD controller. We have a 24 volt to 12 volt converter in there to run all the accessories like the lights and the horn and all that sort of thing. So yeah, we'll move on to lifting the body off. Right, so to lift the body off, obviously make sure the hand controller in a secure place. Flap on the side here. Have a charging plug and the plug running for all the headlights and stuff for the body. Simply pull that out, let that sit there, and then you lift off by grabbing each end. It's only a wooden body, so make sure you're careful, but also it's quite light. And here we are inside the Loco. So what we're looking at moving from the front here, that's the, you can see the motor, which is the silver thing there. The little circuit board there is the flashlight, the ditch light flashes. I'll explain that later. There's your two batteries. Has a 60 amp circuit breaker in the middle. Moving down here you can spot the 24 to 12 converter, which is a little silver thing just in here. Then in here you've got the controller with the brake pump on top. Very simple setup. In terms of things you check under here, nothing. It's all taken care of by the owner. Moving down the back here, so this is the main control panel for the Loco. Got a horn button. The top button there activates the flash unit for the ditch lights, not generally used. That is of course the ammeter for the two motors. So that's measuring the overall current draw, so obviously stay below 60. Generally this Loco doesn't pull much more than 30 amps. In terms of how long we can run, a good 3 to 4 hours, sometimes longer, depending on the load of course. Moving down, we have a latching button for the voltmeter, which you may be able to see there. That switch there is for the lights underneath, otherwise known as the underglow lights. Not something you need to worry about. We have a brake pump in this thing obviously, so that is the ignition switch. So switch that on as long as you need brakes, or as long as you need your pressure against wheels. And then we also have a release solenoid in there, which is on a spring-loaded switch. So that's a quick release. Two switches on the side here. Top one is the headlight switch and the bottom one is the ditch lights. Different plugs in here. You don't need to worry about those. Speedometer, at the moment the Loco's done 4,627 kilometers. A few different modes on here. We've got a clock there which should be set to the right time, and the distance travelled for the day, the ride time, the average speed, the maximum speed, and back to the odometer. So moving on, you've got the air coupling here, so that will accept any airline from our trolleys here. That is the hand controller, so you have the ignition switch, the speed, and your forward and reverse. That is currently reverse, throw it over to forward. On the side is a horn button as well. In order to get the thing running, obviously make sure your switches are off. We have this little master switch down here. Flick it down and that turns the whole system on. So now that we have the main switch on, this is the ignition switch for the main controller there. We're set to reverse. If we slowly turn that, it starts going backwards. Simply turn it back to stop. This is fitted with regen braking, so when you're out on the track and you need to slow down, simply wind that back and it'll do it all for you. And of course, forward. That's the horn there, and if we shift up the front, we can see the ditch lights flashing back and forward, and they time out after 10 seconds. So that's pretty much it with this. It's a very simple Lyco to operate. The maximum speed that it does is approximately 11k. Top speed on the track, as you should know, is about 10. One other feature I have fitted, if we push the ditch light activation switch, is this little LED down here, and that will illuminate as long as those ditch lights are flashing. Aside from that, she's pretty basic. Again, if you want to drive, come and find Ben at Club. Cheers for watching.